How is everybody doing today? And in this video, we are going to be talking about Aventurine, especially with the content creator experience server open and allowed us to react to it, which thank God they've changed that. And also from the story letting us play him, getting a little test drive and a demo for him. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and say my opinion on Aventurine, and this man is a god tier character. He is by far one of our best sustains in the game at the current moment, and it's almost like 2.0 and onwards has just been that era defining moment of a lot of these characters, with characters like Black Swan being some of the nastiest debuffers in the current game right now, Sparkle being absolutely broken with how she uses the Harmony class and basically rewrites the foundation of Star Rail, making 7 skill points the norm when it comes to rocking her on the team, and it's just wild what she's able to provide for the team. And now we have Acheron, who's being a whole new shift and meta to the DPS, where you're able to build a team around the character and everyone benefits. Everyone likes to add a little bit more value onto your team as soon as 2.0 rolls out. And now Aventurine, being a sustain, not only allowed to debuff, buff, and also give you effect dress, making it a lot harder for enemies to hit their CCs. And then not only that, they also are a damage dealer. Now, it might not be the craziest. We don't know 100% the nastiest numbers he can hit right now, even with the content creator experience server open, because frankly, we just don't know his full build that we're able to give him, and also the min-max relics we might have on our own account. So that's going to have to wait until later on when he is released. But so far, from all the things that we have, which we are going to be talking about a couple things, whether it be the tier list of sustains that we're going to be making very quickly to talk about how great Aventurine is really when compared to every other character, and then also looking at God Doggles showcases, just so I can show you the really cool stuff that Aventurine is capable of when you put him in his best in slot team and also his general use. There's just a lot of really great things that come with Aventurine that make him absolutely amazing to pick up, especially if you are looking for a brand new sustain. Now, there is one exception that I do want to bring up, and something that is very prevalent when it comes to picking up another sustain or picking up another character in Star Rail, which is if you have two sustains at the current moment. And when I talk about two sustains, I'm talking about two premium sustains, one being, I don't know, something like REHOO, and the other being like Fu Xuan. You kind of don't need Aventurine. At that point, you already have the two sustains that you possibly would need for your account to be able to sustain you doing MLC 12, for you to be able to do Storm Disaster, Golden Gears, Pure Fiction, all these other modes. You are fine. You do not need Aventurine if you already have your two sustains. And even if you're using someone like Lynx or someone like Gallagher, which some of these teams really like, you still don't need Aventurine. That's just how it's going to be right now. Sustains, although it would be nice to get, you know, the best in new character for sure for Star Rail, if you already have the sustains figured out, you can literally go ahead and try a new playstyle with another DPS, or you can even wait for Robin and see what she can do, because like I always say, the second half banners are always the best when it comes to the information provided to give you the best value for your J's, because not only do we have Aventurine and Jink Liu coming soon, we also have Robin and Boo Hill with their stream, and also drip marketing coming out very soon with whatever two characters we're going to be getting, whether it be a new DPS, a new Harmony, or a new sustain. There's just a lot of things happening, and especially with 2.0 shifting us into this brand new style of characters, yeah, we have a lot to look forward to. So really quickly, let's go ahead and start with this tier list in regards to the sustains, and then we're going to go look at a Doggles video just to see how great Aventurine is in general play. And right now, I just want to start off with, of course, and this is just general sustain. I know for certain cases, something like Fire Trailblazer could be A, and in some cases, she could be C. So right now, I'm just talking about general sustain and what they're able to provide. And this is going to help me compare each and every sustain as we currently know. So to make it very easy, right now, I'm going to put REHOO and Fu Xuan in S, and I'm not going to use anybody in S+ yet because I just want to go ahead and start a foundation. For REHOO and Fu Xuan, we all know they're the best of the best at the current moment, with REHOO giving attack and energy while also providing an off-field heal and an off-field cleanse whenever their turn starts or whenever an ultimate happens. There's just a lot of really good stuff that come from REHOO. She is very skill point positive if you decide to stay off the stacks when the enemies are not even debuffing you, or when you have a chance that they're paralyzed and you're just spamming her flag. There's a lot of really cool stuff that comes with REHOO, and she provides a lot of value to every team, no matter what, whether you're Dots, whether you're Dan Heng, Jing Liu, Jing Yuan, all these type of characters. Anybody needs energy besides Acheron, of course, and everybody will like that attack percentage boost besides Blade. And even so, that energy boost is going to be absolutely amazing, not just for the DPS, but also for your supports on the team. You're able to get those buffs a lot faster, which keeping up the 100% uptime, or possibly keeping it up even more, which allows you to just do absolutely amazing damage when REHOO is on the field. So she is an amazing character, and I think this is undisputed that she's up there with Fu Xuan. Fushun, of course, as we know, I think she is the very best when it comes to sustain at the current moment, when we see how she has her damage redirection with her damage mitigation, and also giving you the 12% of crit rate, and also a one-time instance of CC prevention. There's a lot of really cool stuff that comes with Fushun when it comes to her field, and also not being slightly skill point positive. I'm not 100% sure how we're gonna look at that, because I'd run my Fushun slow just to make the field last a little bit longer, because I usually zero cycle the stuff that I do, but that's a case by case thing. But we all know that REHOO and Fushun are 100% an S tier or above character, without a doubt, currently our best as of now. And then when we go into other characters who provide value than just sustaining, because yes, we do have characters that are in the game that just are sustainers. They don't provide any other resource than being a sustain, but they're still good at the game. At the end of the day, a lot of these sustainers, even up until Bailu and Japar, are able to solo sustain for the majority of the content that we're in right now, whether it be MOC 12, Pure Fiction, Golden Gears, or Swarm Disaster. They basically can all do the job. So how I look at the sustains is how much utility do they actually give when it comes to all the things that they have, plus keeping you alive. And Fushun and REHOO right now are the kings of having those resources while also keeping you alive. That's why a character like Luocha, I would have currently being put in a tier below A, or I guess you could say this is just to separate them, have a tier below in between Fushun and REHOO, because guess what? He can only sustain. His SP effectiveness is really cool and it's really unique to him. But right now in this day and age where we have Sparkle, we have very fast builds for a lot of different characters, Luocha's SP effectiveness or SP positive nature isn't the craziest thing as it was back in with like what 1.1. So currently looking at Luocha, we have other characters that can provide more value with the resources that they have, which is someone like Lynx, where Lynx is able to give taunt for preservation and also destruction, which a lot of characters really like Clara, and also someone like Blade, and that just gives inherently more value than Luocha, because even though it is a little bit more comfier to rock Luocha, Lynx is going to get a lot more damage for Blade, because he's going to be doing constant follow-up attacks, especially if there's a butt ton of enemies and she's adding taunt. That is overall the best situation for Blade, and somebody like Blade would like, or Clara. And then going into the next one, Gallagher. Gallagher is 100% the character that does way more than just sustain. He does a good job at it while also providing value and being slightly offensive, with his break nature doing somewhere around 120k breaks, somewhere doing around 150k breaks. He's doing the damage for sure if you can line it up, and he also gives the other characters the ability to heal themselves on their attacks. So he provides something similar to Luocha when it comes to all the things that he's able to provide while also being a sustainer. And if you have E2, which I'm not of course saying that everyone has an E2 for Gallagher, but if you do, he has a cleanse, and it just makes him the complete character for sure. Now the next characters that I am going to be talking about for sure, I do want to put them lower on the list, because as a general sustain, they're not going to be the best. But if you were to put them with someone like Acheron, like Fire MC, she provides a taunt, which is really cool. Training Universal Market allows for a fat ton of debuffs for Acheron, allow her ultimate to do a crazy ton about more damage, because she is going to have a lot more ultimates in the time that she's up. And the same thing with March. Right now, these two characters, they just don't provide enough sustain for the majority of the content that we're in right now. MOC 12, Pure Fiction, Golden Gears, all that different type of stuff. You would not use these over the characters above them, and that's just how we gotta look at it, to be honest. And then looking at the other two characters, which I kind of do want to move them up a bit, so I do have the space for it right now. Right now we have Bailu and Japar. Actually, these guys need to be a little bit lower, my bad. We have Bailu and Japar. These guys are absolutely amazing in the job that they do. Bailu has that revive, which is really nice, and the invigoration, which kind of acts like a damage mitigation type of technique, which is really cool for Bailu. And you also get the revive just in case you do go down. So a lot of those like mistakes that you might make, a lot of the things that you didn't mean to do, can be corrected from Bailu, and doesn't impact you as much as it would have if you have any of these other sustains. So that's something really unique to her and really nice to her as well. Japar being the godly shield that he is, but the problem is, of course, that his shield was on ultimate. So if you didn't have your ultimate up in time and something just shredded straight through it, well, you would have to wait until Japar is able to use his ultimate to be able to get the shield back, and it is a hefty shield. But if it's gone, you're gonna have to wait a minute, unless your Japar is built speedy and has energy regen, all the different type of stuff. It's just a little bit of a problem when you run into that type of situation. He also has the unique thing of having a freeze on deck with this skill if you go into his effect hit rate, and also have some of his Eidolons, which allow him to freeze a lot more consistently, making it a little bit easier to consider a sustain, because he's freezing the enemy, not letting them do damage, and also building up his ultimate to be able to rock the shield. So there's a lot of really cool stuff that comes with him. But realistically, this is how the meta of these sustainers look at the current moment without Aventurine. if we are going to be talking about with Aventurine in the list, I either have him in 2 different spots. It's either going to be right there with REHOO Fushun, or even right there above them, in all honesty. Because right now, Aventurine is already, and this is what I've been saying already before, that the sustainers are power creeping each other faster than the DPSs at this current moment, faster than the Harmony characters at this current moment. Because right now, when you look at the DPSs, we still have Jingliu reigning terror at the #1 spot almost with Acheron. I know she's below Acheron. That's 100% something I need to make sure to get out before I continue with that sentence. Acheron's 100% #1, but Jingliu is an easy #2. There is no other character that like Jingliu who is going to be doing as much and is as resourceful, as efficient as Jingliu herself. So yes, Jingliu is right there with Acheron being at the very, very top. And we already have that character being there. Kafka also being a slight DPS, I guess you could say it. And she's still running Terror as well, being a very good pickup. Same with Jingliu at the current moment. And then we also have, who else? I'm trying to remember, but it's blanking on me right now. Topaz is a really good option as well, with being someone who's really nice with follow-ups, which is going to be a team that we're now going to have to be invested in fully all the way, because now we have Dr. Ratio, we have Topaz, we have Aventurine, and now we're just missing the Harmony support that helps follow-up attacks, and boom, you have the full follow-up attack team, which would be one of the complete niches with Dot, and they would have a full-on team, which is going to be super exciting to see, so I can't wait for that to happen. But for right now, Aventurine provides every single aspect of the game in one character, with the same effectiveness and the same comfortness that a lot of people love Luocha for, which is basically infinite shields. You have infinite shields with Aventurine, you have these very bulky shields that can stack on with him doing his follow-up attack, and you also have external forces allowing him to synergize with this team, which gives him the shield that he wants. He also has a damaging ult, damaging follow-up attack, so he's doing damage now as Sustain. He can buff your teammates, he can debuff your enemies, and he can keep your team alive no matter what. This is traits of someone who has a little extra than REHOO and Fushun. Fushun has her ult that does attack, but it does water, like it does no damage. And then Aventurine is actually doing some damage, which is really nice. Now, I don't expect him to be hitting 200Ks, 100Ks, even 50Ks, but Aventurine being able to do what he can do, and Aventurine having this uniqueness to be able to do a multiple hitting attack, or an attack that hits at all, is going to allow him to shred shields and also do a little bit of damage that will stack up over time. Because as you may know, whenever you get that first follow-up attack, boom, that's a little bit of damage for Aventurine. Oh, I got my ultimate and I got a bunch of points. That's my next follow-up attack. More damage stacked on top. Do I get more hits from all the enemies hitting me? Because as we may know, a lot of the enemies currently in MOC, in Pure Fiction, all the different type of modes hit AoE. So he's going to get guaranteed 5 stacks out of his 7. And if you have any overcap from your last follow-up attack, boom, follow-up attack. It's just, although it is a smaller amount of damage coming from a sustain, remember, we're still talking about a sustain. Aventurine being able to give you debuffs, or debuffs to the enemies, buffs to the allies, damage to the enemies, and also keeping you alive permanently while being skill point positive, with him having a reapplyable shield every time he does his follow-up attack. With the current meta we're going against, doing infinitely amount of follow-up attacks to be able to give him a shield, he's going to be stacking on this damage like a fat ton of times when it comes to him getting hit multiple times to be able to do his follow-up attack. 20k, 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 20k. Every single time someone gets hit, he's going to allow you to take on some damage. That's going to be maybe like 100k combined damage as he's spamming these follow-up attacks with using his ultimate. So there's just a lot of really great stuff that comes with Aventurine that really is setting him apart from other characters, because now he's doing damage while also debuffing. So he's really good with Acheron. Now someone also doing something with Dr. Ratio, who loves the debuff as well. And also when Dr. Ratio does the follow-up, he gets a point. Whenever Topaz gets a follow-up, he gets a point. So like, he is right now the most synergistic character that you could put on a team for follow-up 100%. And for general use, he's still that guy. He still has Yanqing over there. Probably may save him, most likely not. But Yanqing has follow-up attack that he can use with Aventurine. And Aventurine is basically the best partner for Yanqing, because now we have a shielder who's basically have it infinitely on and allow Yanqing to keep his soul still sync, which is really, really cool. Same thing with someone like Arlen, or maybe other characters in the future who want to keep themselves at low HP. Aventurine is going to be the best character for that. Especially we have someone like Sam, who in the light cone shop for MOC, right now, he has a HP scaling or HP type of kit where you sacrifice life. If you have to keep him as low as possible, Aventurine will be your character for sure, 1000% without a doubt. So right now, Aventurine, with all that he provides, debuffing, buffing, damaging characters, and keeping an infinite shield while being SP positive, he does everything these characters all do. He has all the resources, every single aspect of the sustain, and also is bringing in a new archetype, which is damaging. Now, I don't expect it to do a billion damage, but the fact that he can do some of it, that's really cool. That's something that no other sustain is able to do. And right now in 2.0, as we've been seeing, they are showing some unique kit. They're putting these characters above the tiers that they were before. They're giving them way new mechanics, really cool things that synergize with the team. They're not making selfish characters anymore. They're making characters that synergize with your team and characters that mesh well with other characters or different playstyles that we're going to see very soon. Just like how Gallagher's dealing with break effects, and he's also giving us break damage. They're setting us up for a new meta in the future, and this is super exciting. But to go on and look really quickly with God Doggles' video, which I need to go ahead and exit out of Star Rail so that y'all don't hear the footage in the background. But to go ahead and look at God Doggles' video, this is where he's going to be playing the team with Topaz, Ratio, Ruame, and Aventurine, which is by far their very best team until we get some type of follow-up attack niche support. Right now, we're going to be looking at this, and we're going to see absolutely how amazing he is in regards to this team, which is his very best. Of course, not the most built team ever. It's not like we have the right relics. This is the test server. They have a bunch of randomized relics, so we're gonna have to see how it is, which is very exciting.
Raw footage while trying to explain, what he actually feels live. So right now I got Ruame. I just built my entire team.
As you see right there, if I can find my mouse, as you see right there, he did get 2 blind bet points from Topaz doing her follow-up attack. He got 1 from the first follow-up attack. Another follow-up attack happened. There's another 2 stacks right there. So we have 2 stacks already from the start of the turn. And then now he's going to be using his most likely basic attack. There's no reason to rock the shield out if he already has shield on, because you do get the shield at the very start of the turn, which doesn't waste a technique point. Literally, as soon as you get into the field, he immediately gets a shield that covers half your health. He's so good for keeping you not taking damage for the long majority of time that he's on the field. It's absolutely insane what he's able to provide. And we even get to see some really cool stuff in a second when this dinosaur ends up attacking. That's 1 stack. This dinosaur does a AoE attack, which you already saw that he got attacked once. That was 1 stack. He did AoE attack that hit 3 times, if I'm not wrong. If it's 4, then my bad. But he now has 7 out of 7. Guess what? Follow-up attack. Boom. Look at that. It also triggers Numby as well, which allows her to do damage. So you're overall boosting your team's damage just from Aventurine being able to follow-up attack. This is something that now Topaz is inherently getting skyrocketed in value. The more follow-up attack characters there are in the game, and the more that synergize with Dr. Ratio, the more that synergize with Aventurine, she's just going to get value on value on value. Now she's becoming one of those characters where, as time goes by, they're infinitely going to raise in stocks, just like someone like Kafka. This is really cool. And someone like Acheron as well, because as we know, she works with her team very well as well. So, man, there's just so many cool things with this character that he's by far one of the best sustains we have when it comes to synergy for the team and overall general use. Because imagine Pure Fiction where you're dealing with a billion enemies attacking you all at once. He's just going to get a fat ton of follow-ups. Boom, 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 boom. It's just going to be non-stop coins falling on the ground. Like, this is going to be one of the coolest characters to run in Pure Fiction, or even Golden Gears for sure as well. So that's pretty much it when it comes to all the things we're looking at. He throws the follow-up attack, Aventurine gets the stack. A Numby, another stack. Like, that's absolutely wild that he's able to do that. And looking at the ultimate, if we ever get to see it, which it should be around right here, there you go, he hits a damaging ult with the debuff, which is nice for Acheron, nice for any character with a crit damage type of kit, and allows them to do a lot more damage with this debuff, which is really cool. Somebody like Ratio will love this, someone like Acheron will love this. These are really cool things. And then the blind bet received, where it says 1 point, this is randomized. You could potentially get 7 to 8 points if I'm not wrong, and this can overcap you and allow you to do follow-up. That's a new shield. Get another follow-up. That's a new shield. If you do 1 more follow-up with Ratio or Topaz, you're doing some absolutely crazy damage with Aventurine, and this is why he's by far one of the best characters for sure when we're looking at all of the characters at the current moment and also the characters that are coming, which is Aventurine. So other than that, that is going to be it for this video. I think Aventurine is going to be absolutely nasty. I cannot wait for him to come out on the live server, because he just looks to be one of the best sustains for now. And as I said before, if you already have 2 sustains at the current moment, whether it be Luocha, whether it be Bailu, Lynx, Natasha, I don't know. If you have characters that can keep you in MLC 12 and sustain you, same with Golden Gears, same with Swarm Disaster, same with Simulated Universe, same with Pure Fiction. If you can complete those modes with the sustains you have now, you don't need them. You 100% don't. 2 sustains is fine enough until they make us make 3 teams on MLC. So right now, if you are looking for your next sustain, if you're looking for your first sustain, or you overall just want to complete the follow-up team, Aventurine is your guy and 100% worth the summon if you don't already have those slots filled. So other than that, thank you guys so much for watching all the way to the end of the video. Make sure to watch God Dog as a showcase because, you know, overall, just really great showcases overall with Aventurine and all the other characters that he covers on the channel. So other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. See you on the next one, and peace.